Hi guys, me Glamorous Girl 1111 bringing you my foundation routine. My last one I did a very long time ago when I first started YouTube about 2 years ago is disgusting. I look back on it and I'm like, you do not know what you're talking about. You don't even like that foundation anymore. So I wanted to remake it for you guys in obviously much better quality and much more foundation knowledge. First off, I want to talk about my skin. I just did my skincare routine. That's what's on my face right now. I will link that here to see what I do to prep my skin for makeup. So go click right here. If you've already seen that video or you don't care, then just keep watching. I am going to use the Givenchy Mr. Smooth Universal Base, but I barely have any left. So I use about this much, because that's all that came out. And I'm just going to put this on my face. I have way too much, but it's going to be okay. And I do like to bring it underneath my eyes. I find this gives me a really pretty glow, but it's also very sticky, so it does hold the makeup for longer periods of time. And again, you just have to take your time to blend it out because it is very cementy. I forgot to put my hair back. So I'm going to take about 2-3 pumps of this. I just dab a little on. Sometimes I put it on my face in dots and blend it in. Today I'm not. It really is never the same technique or the same foundation or the same brush. It's just making it work for me that day and whatever I need for the day. So I put on one even layer, and now I'm going to go in with the rest of the foundation I have and really focus on my cheek area. My forehead needs almost no foundation. I don't pull it all the way down my neck, but I do pull it down about a few inches. I'm going to take a little tiny bit more. And then I'm going to take my beauty blender. I don't always do this, but I am going to go over everything just for that extra bit of blend. Once I finish my foundation, I like to go in with under eye concealer. I also use it as a highlighter, and the one I absolutely love and will never use anything else, that's a lie, but I have been using this for about the past 6 months since it came out. That is the Revlon Age-Defying Targeted Dark Spot Treatment Concealer. Yes, it has the longest name ever, and I'm using the color Light. I like to put this underneath my eyes and then highlight throughout the face. It is kind of thick, but I already have it on my fingers, so I don't feel the need to get something else. I take a lot. This tube lasts you a long time, though. In the past 6 months, this is my second tube, and it's new. And I'm going to take my beauty blender. I'm actually going to take my brush for my face parts. And now I'm going to take the sponge and do the under eye. Now, if we're going all out here, since we are for this foundation routine, I don't do every step here. Another favorite concealer comes from the RCMA Highlight and Contour Powder. And it looks like this, and they have this pinky shade, which is here. It's like a baby pink shade, right? This one, the second one. And I will put that in the very inner corner of my eyes. I used to use this as my concealer before I found the Revlon one. Not the pink shade. There's a yellow shade and a peachy shade. But now that I have discovered the Revlon one, I don't use it as much, but I do like the brightening effect. Okay, since I discovered this Jordana concealer about 2 weeks ago, every time I do my foundation, for the most part, I have been cream contouring, cream bronzing. I'm a big fan of contouring and bronzing, And I have this Undercover concealer. It was like $2, $3, $2.50. And I use it to contour and bronze my face. So I like to just draw it from my cheekbones and then do a little circle on my temples and kind of bring this up in more of a U shape. But you still want to get into your cheekbone. And then I'll just go around the very perimeter of my face. Then I like to contour my nose, making it a little narrower here and a little wider here. And if you really want to go all out, you can put a little bit in your cupid's bow and like do your chin. I don't like to do that, but that's what that looks like. The best method is to use a more round brush, or in this case I'm going to use the Sephora small powder brush because it's synthetic hairs and it just blends it out really nicely. As you can see, it kind of blends away. It's not the most strong bronzer, but that's what I like, the really subtle, more natural look. And then I do like to do a second layer on my cheeks because I do find it looks a little bit better. I like this to be a little stronger. This does not have to be perfect since we are going to go over it with a powder, but just making it look even is important. If you're not happy with it or you brought it down a little bit too low, you can always take a little bit more foundation and your sponge and bring it up a little. I think this cheek went too low. If you contour wrong, you will look very old, like your face is kind of sagging. So you don't want that, but you can blend it down. So once I fixed it with a little foundation, I'm going to go over it. I'm done with cream products, and I have two Holy Grail powders. I've been using the same powders for a very long time, and I don't plan on changing them. There are drugstore alternatives. You can go ahead and find them. I don't feel like talking about them. I've talked a lot about foundation. I'm sure you're tired of it. However, I do use a separate one for highlighting underneath my eyes. This is the Nye Cameo Luxury Powder. Anastasia has a shade similar to this one. Go ahead and do whatever works for you. However, this is relatively inexpensive and you get a lot. And it's a soft focus powder, so it really just makes those dark circles disappear. I can use the banana powder when I'm a little more tan, and I do have it and love it, but as far as I'm concerned, this is really good for light skin tones, or any skin tones with a very pink undertone. It doesn't make that big of a difference. I could use the banana powder. I just find that I'm a little too light. It looks a little weird. As you can see, this kind of pinky shade matches with that RCMA concealer I applied in my inner corners. My favorite way to apply powder underneath the eyes is to use my beauty blender. I find that this applies just enough powder, but never makes it look really, really cakey. And if you're doing like a smoky eye, you can put a lot of powder down with the sponge and then swipe it away when you're done with your makeup. And then all over my face, I like to apply the Mercier Translucent Finishing Powder. I do like the MAC Prep and Prime powder as well, or any sort of setting powder that's clear. I don't like any ones with color. My favorite way to apply it is again with the Beauty Blender or with a very very whimsy, longer bristled brush like the Makeup Forever Professional's stippling brush in 122. This applies just enough powder. And since I have it, let's go ahead and do it. I like to cover it with powder. There's something on my face. Oh my god. Cover it with powder and press it on, starting putting the most powder along my jawline where that redness is, where I find my foundation comes off the most, and then very lightly going over my face. Again, if you have like lots of acne, you don't want to use a brush like and wiggle it across your skin or brush it. You want to pat it, but that's not an issue for me, and I like it to smooth everything out. Once I'm done with that brush, however, I am going to go back in with my beauty blender and tap all over the face. And there you have it. That is my completed foundation routine. I hope you enjoyed this video. I know I enjoyed making it for you guys, and I will see you guys later. Bye!